We're talking about a game that's been circled on Kevin Wilde's calendar since the beginning of time. The game of Brady versus Belichick. It's also known as Bucks versus Pats. It's the return of Tom Brady to Foxborough. Fox Bet Sportsbook has Tampa favored by 6.5. I got the over-under on storylines at 6,500. The biggest one, the meeting of two old friends turned foes. 6 Super Bowls between the two and one big fat divorce. Here is Tom Brady on heading back to Gillette.
I'm not going to necessarily reminisce. I don't think this is the moment for that. And I'll have plenty of opportunities to reminisce about my football career. None of which I really care to do right now because I'm so much in the moment. And I'm not going to be thinking about, 20 years of history. I'm going to be thinking about one night of football, a Sunday night game coming off a really tough loss. They're coming off a really tough loss. So both teams are going to be fighting and clawing for a win.
We got 3-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington with us. LeVar, good morning. Wilds, though, got to start with you. Your game, the first game you're going to this season. What is your reaction to what Brady had to say? Let's go.
My reaction is that it's going to be a Patriots upset, LeVar. And I know no one believes me, even though the Patriots do have the second best passing defense in the National Football League. But it's not about that. It's not about Belichick's scheme necessarily, although I do think he knows every single thing that Tom Brady will do because he literally taught him almost everything he knows how to do. I think the emotional weight of this game will distract creature of habit Tom Brady. And I know people are going to be like, no, Wilds, Tom Brady knows how to deal with the pressure. Tom Brady, when you get to a big moment, yeah, I know that. That's because he's had dozens and dozens of game-winning drives. I get it. You know why he's comfortable in the Super Bowl? The guy's been to 10 Super Bowls. He has never stepped into Foxborough in this bizarre setting. It would almost be easier if it was LeBron going back to Cleveland from Miami, where it's like, wow, people are going to really be mad at me, and I will use that as fuel. You saw it with when KD went back to Oklahoma City. We did that game, and it was like people had those cupcake signs. You can take one emotion and be like, oh, everyone's going to be mad at me? All right, I'll wear the black hat and step up. We saw it with Trae Young in Madison Square Garden. But with this, we're like, I'm being cheered. There's Adele songs playing out here. I see all my banners. Before the game, people are hugging me. My family is here. People are wearing Tampa Bay jerseys. I'm on the wrong sideline. I think it is just a wild goulash of emotions, LeVar, that will lead to a Patriots victory.
I think you've created quite the fantasy of what this could all end up being. But in reality, Tom Brady is a really, really amazing football player that is focused in on going back to a place, which, by the way, a ton of subterfuge. I mean, I love my background. Don't y'all love my background? I'm so makeshift over here.
Yeah, radio.
The subterfuge from Belichick is amazing, and it's phenomenal because to put out there ahead of time, the report from Tom Brady's trainer about how Brady was treated by Belichick and his inability to adjust and treat him as a man, basically a grown man. And then Belichick kind of responding in a very Belichickian way, which is, you know what, he had a better option in Tampa Bay. I think that there is a healthy sense of I do not want to lose to one another going into this game. And I think that it's going to serve its purpose in terms of how competitive this game will be. But keep in mind, right, and this is one thing as a football player, maybe I bring the fun out of it just a tad bit. Maybe I suck the air out of it a tad bit with this take. But Belichick has to run the entire game. He has to have his coaching staff and his personnel and his players ready to win an entire game. Belichick is going against Tampa Bay and Bruce Arians for all intents and purposes. He is not going up against Tom Brady. Tom Brady, however, is going up against Bill Belichick and his defense and the schemes that they will present to him and see what it is that takes place. Now, they talk about the success that Belichick has against rookie quarterbacks. It'll be interesting to see what type of success he has against quarterbacks that he's coached for over 2 decades. And that will be, to me, to your point, Wilds, the familiarity that Bill Belichick has for Tom Brady, because Tom Brady was developed into the quarterback that he is through the coaching of Bill Belichick and his coaching staff. I think it'll be interesting to see how Bill Belichick schemes him, and I think that will make for great TV as well, because I do not believe Bill Belichick wants to be the guy that let the GOAT go. He goes and brings in the guys he wants, wins a Super Bowl, and then comes back home and stomps your tail out. I just don't think that that's what Bill Belichick wants, and I don't think that that's what Kraft wants, and I don't think that really anybody that's connected to New England that is still New England pro versus Tom Brady pro wants to see.
LeVar, you're right. They don't want that, but that's exactly what they're going to get. And let me address Wilds. And you the perfect word, LeVar, fantasy. Because that's what that was, Wilds. That was an absolute goulash of dreams and leprechauns and pixie dust and all of that. It's not happening. One of the necessities, one of the character traits you have to get to be a Tom Brady is that you can control your emotions. You don't get over emotional. You don't read your press clippings, to use a common phrase. All right, you don't look at what you've already done. Oh, aren't I great? Look at what everybody's saying about me. No, you keep moving forward. And I think what Tom Brady said in that quote we played is exactly how he's going to feel. He is going to be ticked off, number one, because they just lost a big game to the Rams. And I think he had designs on going undefeated this season. All right, so he is going in there fired up. Obviously, there's the Belichick factor. Okay. He wants to prove him wrong. Who knows him better than his dad? And his dad said he wants to go in there and prove Belichick wrong. I think Tom Brady's going to throw for at least 350 yards, if not 400 plus.
You guys are all missing
and at least 3 touchdowns, if not 4 touchdowns, Wiles. It is going to be ugly for your Patriots. I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Wilds, respond real quick, and then I'll button it up. Go ahead, because you're frothing at the mouth. I got it. So,
Broussard, he's not a robot. Like, we've all been to boxing matches. You know why they don't play Adele on the walk-up? Yeah. Because you want to be fired up. The boxers want to be fired up. They're like,
Tyson Fury didn't do that when he fought Deontay Wilder last time.
So the emotion is going to be so bizarre. He can't be fired up. He's not going to run and be like, yeah. He's going to be practically weeping.
But let me, one thing quick in response to Wilds. You called him a creature of habit, Wilds. But last year, after 20 years in New England, he goes to a completely different operation. New coach, new offense, hasn't had the offseason to work with his teammates. And what do? Oh, they win the Super Bowl. So what? The creature of habit went to a new place and was great.
I hate to say this to the panel, but unfortunately, all 3 of you have talked, and all 3 of you have missed the point. The point is this. The Bucs could deactivate Brady and start Kyle Trask. They're still going to win. The Patriots stink. They have 4 offensive touchdowns this year. They have 2 touchdown drives the whole season that didn't start in the opponent's field position. They have 0 plays of more than 35 yards. You know, Broussard's getting his little jollies off about my Falcons playoff pick. How's your Patriots playoff pick looking? They're terrible. So Brady could have a midlife crisis on the field. They're not going to win. It doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for the Bucs, because the Patriots have no explosive playmakers, a bad quarterback, and their best defensive players still hurt, Jenna. So Wilds might be right about Brady. So now they'll only win 21-16 because the Patriots, unless they're playing Zach Wilson, can't score points, Jenna.
It matters.
Fact check you, Nick. Brady won't have a midlife crisis for another 20 years. The guy's going to live to 100.